The following marketing information and discussion is provided for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as professional guidance or consultancy. You should find an agency for that. Comexis is a digital marketing agency, so feel free to hire us. But otherwise, just enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Buyer's Journey by Comexis, a discussion-based podcast on the ever-changing marketing landscape. I'm Matthew McGroarty, the social media content producer here at Comexis.
I am Len Ward, the managing partner at Comexis.
And I'm Josh Lyons, the digital marketing coordinator here at Comexis.
Today is Friday, and on Friday we talk about the advocacy stage of the buyer's journey. And the advocacy stage is when you have your customers and clients, either past or present, going out and advocating for your product. And that can come in a lot of ways, either through word of mouth to friends, colleagues, family, et cetera, through reviews, testimonials, etc. Today we're going to be focusing on reviews, in particular, a piece by Greg Sterling on Marketing Land talking about how most consumers are unaware of the fake review problem that exists on Amazon. So multiple sources, this is directly from Greg Sterling, multiple sources have concluded Amazon has a growing fake reviews problem. This is in reference to a piece he wrote in 2018 that tells you how many fake reviews there are and also in what product categories they specifically are, and I will get to that in a second. Also, I will link to that into the blog because it's a really fascinating piece. But a majority of the consumers, according to a new consumer survey from CPC Strategy, are completely unaware of the fact that there might be some amount of fake reviews on Amazon. So Sterling reported in December on a study that found 61% of electronic reviews on Amazon are fake, for example. And the CPC Strategy study has a really nice graph. The last time you made a purchase on Amazon, what was the biggest factor in your decision? For 41.1% of people, price was the major deciding factor. For 6.2% of people, it was number of ratings or reviews. And then we get into things like convincing product descriptions, convenience of shopping, prior experience with product or brand, et cetera. But when you talk about the trustworthiness of reviews on Amazon, 75% of respondents indicated that they fully or somewhat trusted them, and just under 21% said they only trusted verified purchaser reviews, and tiny 4% said they don't trust Amazon reviews at all. So let's get into the top 10 categories that had the highest percentage of falsified reviews on Amazon. The first is broadly in consumer electronics. It was wireless headphones, phone cases and screen protectors, smartwatches, phone charging cables, and third-party Apple accessories. Beauty cosmetics was makeup, anti-aging creams, and hair loss products. Clothing was popular sneakers from Adidas or Nike, and supplements and vitamins were any supplement or vitamin claiming wondrous medical benefits in the review. So what do we think about this?
I mean, this is an age-old problem. I mean, fake review. I mean, people. Yeah, I don't know if what the reviews, how that plays into the algorithm of Amazon. I know the algorithm of Amazon. I'll be very candid. You know, Comexis, we haven't marketed a whole lot on Amazon. We've done a little bit of paid, but I don't truly understand the algorithm of how Amazon works. So if I'm going to go search for an Apple iPhone X phone protector, phone case, I don't know how that algorithm is bringing that up to the top. I don't know if reviews are weighing heavy onto that. My guess is at some point it is. Amazon is going to face the problem, the same thing that Google faced. It's you have your own algorithm within its own ecosystem. And one of the most damning things is reviews. It's either going to make or break a business. And sooner or later, Amazon is going to have to address their own algorithm and their own search results, much the same way Google does updates and so forth. The problem is that when Google makes an update organically to a website, things shift, things happen. Google doesn't really care. At the end of the day, they do it just to kind of get more money in the pay-per-click. If Amazon comes in and makes an algorithm shift, they directly lose money. So that's the problem here. So what does Amazon do? I think unfortunately, if people just see it on Amazon, we've reached a point of, well, it's on Amazon, it's got to be half decent. Opposed to it took years for people to kind of have like a blind eye or kind of look at eBay like it might be a shoddy product. Where eBay, I think if you were to poll people, they generally think 1 in 5 products from eBay is coming, they might be shoddy or kind of not worth it. Or Amazon, you're just assuming, oh, it's Amazon, it's going to be a good product. Amazon's behind it, right? Not realizing there's so many individual users who are selling on Amazon. Right. It's not Amazon selling it to you, it's individual users selling it. It's a problem. Reviews are a problem. And I tell people all the time, if you're starting to see clumpy reviews coming in at around the same time and it looks like it's all positive, there's something wrong with it. Having a negative review or a gray review, which is kind of in the middle, is not a bad thing. It's how you respond to it. But it's interesting because it's funny. It's Amazon's now growing, as the de facto search engine for when you're looking for a product, opposed to Google. And now they're facing a lot of the same problems Google's faced over the last 10 years. It's going to be very interesting to see how they respond to it.
Yeah, so when I look at the graph of the following that best describe how you feel about reviews on Amazon products, I would fall into I only trust reviews from verified purchasers, which is a little different from the norm. Only because I do know that people go on and they write fake positive reviews telling you'll get an influx of 10 to 15 people going, oh, this is great, this is amazing, you should get it, when they're all coming on the same day or the same week. And then there's also people that go on just to bash products for fun regardless if they had it or not. So I would fall into the 20.8% because I would want to know from a trusted buyer or someone that is known to go and review things as their job, or they do it very often and well, that I would feel the most comfortable to buy that product if they themselves made the review. But I totally get why people would just, like Len said, would just go on, and if it says, oh, the product's great, they'll just buy it right off the spot because, yes, it is Amazon, and Amazon is king at this stuff. So if it's on Amazon, why not? If it was on eBay, you might double think about it. So, it's all I got.
I think it's a tough thing to comment on because you kind of dig for what it is, but it's black and white. I mean, there's you got it. The reality of the situation is how many times have you guys actually reviewed a product on Amazon? Out of all the products you purchased, how many?
Maybe twice.
There you go.
Yeah, barely.
So do you think people are sitting down and doing this? It's the same thing where eBay was different because the reviews that were coming in from eBay back in the day to make you a power seller, you had to have 2,500 reviews, I think is what, or maybe a 500 would make you a power seller. These are people who physically purchased a product, went through, you could see it, you could look at all their past purchases. I don't know if you can do that on Amazon. Can you click at a reviewer and look at all their purchases?
That I am weird. Not sure about. I'm just not sure about that. For me with Amazon, I think I fall into I somewhat trust reviews on Amazon, mostly because I've developed an ability to look at reviews and go, okay, this is positive, and there's actually an image of it, et cetera, et cetera.
And that's because and not only that, but where you work too is helping you decipher bullshit.
Well, even before that, I feel like I have enough clarity to realize when there's going to be potentially fake reviews on things, right? And I know the same way that I know for eBay that both Amazon and eBay, for example, do have pretty good buyer protections. For the most part, Amazon will return your products, and eBay typically favors the people actually buying the product, sometimes to the detriment of sellers, depending on what happens, right? But I mean, there have also been tons of times where, SD cards, for example, SD cards are very popular to spoof and sell knockoffs of. And when I go on and there's people saying that hey, there's 20 reviews saying that these were knockoffs, I completely believe that, because there's no, you would not go out of your way from buying an SD card to go and review it unless there was actually a problem. But there are certain products where, cookware and things like that, I could believe somebody reviewing it and going, yeah, this was actually really nice. But I agree. I mean, I've only probably written 2 reviews ever.
So that's what I mean. I mean, I think I don't know. It's amazing when you go through it. I mean, I've maybe have reviewed. That's all I do is purchase on Amazon. The reality of the situation, we purchase a lot. 5 things at best. I don't even know if it's been 5. So, and like you, I mean, I'll scroll for the reviews. To me, if I don't see a negative or I don't see a gray review, and I do like the images on Amazon, I think that's great when they actually open it up and show you that. But if I don't see a negative, I'm like, nah, I'm not, buying this. It's not going to happen. So, interesting. And I know we're still recording, but you may have to cut out what I said on eBay because I think about what I said and it didn't make any sense because you can't see the old purchases of what people did. You can see what eBay used to be good for is you'd click the user who left the review and you'd click the stuff they had. And if I'm correct, it was feedback reviews they left.
Yeah.
So you could go back and see
buyer
all
feedback.
Yeah, buyer feedback. So you could go in and see if you have people who are just, because my e-com store 15 years ago, we used to sell tons of on eBay. You have people leaving a negative review just because they just were one to leave you a negative review, even though the product we sent them was it's exactly what you just ordered.
Yeah.
So it was different back then where it was life and death back then for the eBay. If you got a negative review, it was a major, major problem and you had to address it. And that was when people didn't really know, this is back in like 04, 05, this is when people didn't know how to react to a negative review and it would turn to a piss and match back and forth, and it was bad. Then you had to go through something called Square Trade, which would actually mitigate and take the negative reviews off. So it's funny now you see it because reviews come in so fast and furious where it's like, nah, I got a negative, where years ago, oh my God,
It
was
literally like worst case scenario.
All off the stop.
Yeah.
We were like, we got a negative. Who the hell sold these sets of tickets and what happened?
I wonder when they added the buyer feed, because you mentioned buyer feedback, but I'm wondering when they added the buyer feedback ratings, because I know like I buy things on eBay occasionally, and I've gotten feedback just like quick payments, whatever, the normal stuff. But I wonder if they added that in response to that of you can just go, yeah, this person was kind of an ass for no reason. But I don't know. That's
well, there's multiple ways. And the last thing I'll say is if you look at the reviews, like you have somebody who's a verified seller, and they've taken the time to go through and actually leave this long review. Like, you're not a person I want to listen to. I want to listen to Jenny, who just bought the SD card and she needs it for her camera and she bought like 5 things and yeah, it worked, it was pretty good. Not Mike, who's going to give me a 30-word dissertation about the that's all you're doing for a living, dude, is just leaving reviews. So I think it's I don't know. We're kind of down a rabbit hole here.
Well, no, I think
it's
you brought up
still
a good
good
point.
stuff.
I think it depends on the product, though. Like if I'm buying camera things on Amazon, for example, I want to read Mike's 30-page dissertation.
Absolutely.
But if I'm buying like
a $10 item,
no, I just want to know if it works.
Right. Well, that's.
But go ahead.
I was saying that's why it makes sense that, at least to me, why in the top product categories that have like the highest percentage of falsified reviews, you have things like wireless headphones and smartphone cases and screen protectors and makeup. It's just like it's little things that people don't care as much because like if they see it and they know they're gonna buy it, they're just gonna buy it. They're not gonna care about the review. So people might just hammer a bunch of fake reviews to get it to bump up a little in the algorithm, whatever the algorithm is, because if someone wants a certain pair of headphones, they're just going to go and buy the first one that's in stock that's just generically what they're looking for. But if you're going to buy a camera that's going to be expensive and there's a lot of very different ones that have different features and they're obviously very expensive, you're going to take time to look at the reviews and decide what makes the most sense, and you're less likely to have some guy go on there and write something fake saying how good it is because you don't get as many people purchasing it all the time.
The problem is that the one true way years ago you got around stuff like this. When you had junk, but years ago before the internet, you had Consumer Reports, and you have to wonder with everything that's going on with reviews and everything else. The problem is there's so many products and transactions happening online. It's impossible for Consumer Reports to step in and say, "Hey, we're going to do everything." But you have to wonder if there's going to be websites and companies. Maybe we're giving somebody an idea here that's going to rise where you do send their stuff in. You do have to pay to get it reviewed. There is a complete unbiased review that comes out. To get that information, you do have to sign up for $10 a month. And I do wonder if the reviews begin to fall back to it's just supporting information, but the reality of the situation is I'm going to look at what this company says. For products that are maybe over $100 or something, for the $10 product, I don't know if it's worth it. But it makes sense. Like, it's got to the point where it's become so insane. But with Amazon, with Google, with Yelp, which is another one that people hate, with all the reviews, that you do have to wonder if a third party comes out and says, "This is what we're going to offer. You can't advertise with us. There is no algorithm on our website. You submit your product, you pay to have it reviewed, and we put your review out there. Make or break." That's it. If your claim is that this case is not going to break your phone, we are going to drop it from the Empire State Building, and if it makes it, we're going to put it on there. If it doesn't, there's your picture. So you got to wonder if there will be a rise of that, and that just completely eliminates this crap. That's not going to happen now. So
there you go, folks.
I was going to say, I can write that down.
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's episode of The Buyer's Journey. Check us out on Chemexus.com, YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcasts. And please follow us on Twitter @buyers_journey. Thanks for listening.